Subscribe now. EU debates.
Thank you, President. Thank you, France. You have outlined very clearly the situation we are facing right now and why we need to act quickly, decisively and together. And let me add a few more details. The possibility of Russia cutting off the gas supply to Europe hangs over us every day. We committed in Repower EU to end our dependence as soon as possible and reduce it by 2/3 already this year through diversification, renewables and energy efficiency. But we acknowledged that even with these accelerated efforts, we would not get to zero in the matter of months. We have carefully analysed, together with NSOG, what a full disruption of gas this year would mean for our security of supply. And the message is clear. If there is a full disruption, we will face a gap between gas supply and demand. We estimate that this gap would be around 30 billion cubic meters in an average winter, 45 BCM in colder one, and even larger if the winter is exceptionally cold. And we assume that also that non-Russian LNG and pipeline supply will remain high through the winter. To address that remaining dependency on Russia, we need to reduce gas demand, and we must also preserve our ability to fill gas storage for this coming winter and for the next one. So Member States have made already remarkable progress despite the challenging situation on the gas market. And the filling level today is very close to 65%. But if the supplies from Russia are cut, reaching our 80% target by November will become very challenging. And if our demand reduction target is not ambitious enough, we risk ending this winter with empty storage, which would be impossible to refill in time of the next heating season. Taking all these factors into account, we are proposing a 15% reduction of gas consumption from the beginning of August to the end of March. This corresponds to 45 BCM of gas and will significantly reduce security of supply risks. By acting together in a coordinated and proactive way, it is us who decides our energy policy, not Putin. And by taking early action, we reduce the impact on the EU economies, protecting our people and businesses. Delaying comes with cost. It increases the negative impact on the GDP by at least 1/3. In our main scenario, this could mean a difference between a 0.6% and a 1.5% reduction of GDP. And to be prepared for this winter, we have put forward a legal proposal with a two-step approach. In the first stage, we call Member States to reduce gas demand by 15% on a voluntary basis compared to their own consumption over an historical 5-year average. If the Member States are not making sufficient progress or the situation deteriorates, we propose that the Commission can declare a state of EU alert at any moment, and this will trigger a mandatory obligation for the Member States to meet the 15% gas reduction target. We are not telling the Member States which measures they need to take, as they are the best placed to know what works for their energy system and economy. But to help them to implement the ambitious goal, we have also outlined options for voluntary gas savings from fuel switch to demand reduction. The aim of these measures is to avoid the need for forced curtailment of industry. However, if it does become necessary, we have set out guidance for Member States how to take these difficult decisions, and Thierry will say more about that. In the EU, households are protected consumers, and there should be no risk of anyone being cut off heating, as the gas supply to homes is safeguarded. But everyone can and should save gas. And we will continue to promote the ideas set out in the EU energy saving plan and ask all Member States to launch awareness campaigns to encourage gas-saving behaviour. There is also considerable potential for the public sector to reduce demand, especially in heating and cooling. Let me end by saying that today's package has a very clear and specific purpose: to reduce our gas demand, and in parallel, intense work continues on the supply side. In the first half of the year, LNG supplies to the EU increased by 25 BCM and pipeline deliveries by 14 billion cubic meters. In total, we have received an extra 35 BCM of non-Russian gas this year, and the target of the REPowerEU plan was 60 BCM of additional supplies in 2022. The President and I just returned from Azerbaijan, where we agreed to more than double the gas volumes to the EU by 2027, and we expect to see an increase up to 4 BCM extra already this year. And we have also agreements in place with the United States, Canada, Norway, Egypt and Israel, long working relationship with Qatar and Algeria. All the work streams laid out in REPowerEU: diversification, joint gas purchases, ramping up renewables and hydrogen, increasing energy efficiency and tackling high prices remain an absolute priorities. So this winter will be a test for the EU's energy system and for our union as a whole, and it is a test that we will pass if we act with unity, solidarity and resolve. Thank you.
Thank you very much.